Okay, the key with the petunias is the seeds are really small, so that's number one. You got to watch out for these small seeds when you pop this packet open. They're really, really small. And the second thing with petunias is they need light to germinate. So if you press these into the soil too far or bury them, your success rate is going to be greatly reduced. So they need bright, indirect light, like a diffused greenhouse, to get consistent, even germination.
Hold this piece back. It's how you like be able to keep your packet without like emptying out, and you make a little line, and you can get it. You can look inside the packet against the white. You can get a little trail, and then you can tap, 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 tap.
I'm doing 3 to 5, and then we can thin them out after they germinate, or we can prick them out and put them in another tray, make more plants.
Okay, there's no more left. There's a few.
We overpack our seeds by 50%, so there's 75 seeds in here, so there's at least double that. So we seeded the tray. The key now is don't press the seeds in. I'll lightly pass the watering wand over these seeds that we've just seeded, and this will just press them lightly into the soil. The natural sunlight will still be able to encourage those seeds to sprout. Seedling germination time on petunias is about 10 to 14 days. That's it. So I'm going to show you guys how to clone petunias. Here, this is the Superbissima Giant Alba, and this practice is standard for all sorts of different types of plants that you can clone. So some supplies you're going to need. We like to use Hormex No. 3 rooting hormone powder. We have a 6-pack of just our standard potting and propagation mix, soil that we're going to stick the cuts into, a pair of sharp snips, label, marker, everything's tagged up, and then a humidity dome to keep things nice and humid while they get a chance to root. I don't like to dip into the container. I like to keep this pretty much as clean as it can be. So pour it out into, I just use an upside down jar lid. You could use anything, it really doesn't matter. And then when you're taking the cuts, you're going to be wanting to take terminal growth. So if you look at this plant here, you can see all the new growth shoots coming out, all the new growing points, the new growing tips. So when we take a cutting, you'll notice all the different nodes on this plant. Everywhere that a leaf intersects the stem, there's a growing point. That new tissue is going to develop there, and it's going to branch out of all these nodes. So the most important thing to know when you're cloning, I like to take some of these lower leaves off, is you want to maintain at least 2 to 3 nodes when you're cloning something. So there's the tech here, you strip the leaves back. Some people like to cut these leaves, some people pinch the leaves. I don't, never seen a difference in cutting versus pinching. So we're reducing the leaf surface area, which reduces the plant's transpiration rate. So the more leaves a plant has, the more water it's pulling and pumping. So when you do cuttings, you want to take leaf material off of the plant cutting so that when you stick it in here and you dome it, the transpiration rate is greatly reduced and the plant has a higher likelihood of sending out roots below. So that looks pretty good. I like to cut out a 45, so I'm going to maintain on this cutting the growing tip. There's a ton of nodes here. I'm going to cut it back a little bit, so I'm going to do about right there, a 1/4 inch below that bottom node. I'm going to cut it. And here's the trick to cloning most anything and getting it to root really quickly. That node right there, all these nodes, they have cell material that the plant is telling to push new stems, to push new growth. So if we go like this and we just lightly scrape this, we're exposing those young cell tissues, the tissue and those of the young cells to the rooting hormone powder when we dip it in. I'm gonna roll this in here, tap that off, stick that cutting like that. Do another one. Let's find another growing tip here. Clip that, pull this, clean that up a little bit. If you're dealing with a bunch of leaves on top, some people come in and you can reduce the leaf surface area. You want to maintain some leaves so the plant still can photosynthesize and transpire. Snip this back to above that node there, scrape the node, dip it, the cutting, stick the cutting. Okay, so we've stuck all of our cuttings. Our soil to start was moist, not overly wet. I probably won't water this much at all in the next 2-week period of these rooting out. It should take about 10 to 14 days for these things to push out new roots. What I'll do though to keep the humidity high is I'll dome this up. I'll close these vents to maintain a sealed environment on the tray. And every couple of days I'll pop this off, I'll spray it out with some fresh water and give those cuttings a chance to breathe some fresh air, and then I'll re-dome this. So like every 2-3 days, pop the dome off, spray it down, and then you want to maintain this dome of cuttings, of whatever cuttings you're doing, in a semi-lit shaded environment. So LED rack inside, under a potting bench in a greenhouse, under shade cloth. You just want to keep it out of direct light.